In this session, we're going to show you how to declutter and speed up your computers and smartphones and tablets and other computing devices. What we're going to start with is knowing what operating system you have. Either you have Microsoft or you have Apple's iOS system, or you're going to be using Android system. Those are the major ones that people work with, especially in senior communities. Then we're going to show you how to access the settings part of your menus, because settings is where most things can be done and a lot of things can be modified to help your computers operate as smooth as possible. We'll show you how to reset your phone. We'll discuss how to check and free device memory. Then we'll go on to how to close open programs, how to delete messages, how to delete emails, and how to clear browser and searches and memory. Now, first of all, you need to know what kind of device you have. If you have a picture on the left, like on the left there in Apple, this is an Apple device. And what the operating system it uses is iOS. And then the next one is Google, which is an Android product. Android products are generally a lot of different devices. They use a lot of different menuing. Many companies make Androids, unlike the Apple products, which are made by one company and they use one standard for everything. Google is much more open face and open to everybody working with their equipment. We also have Microsoft Windows. They're somewhat in between the Apple and the Android group. Microsoft Windows is very self-constricted, such as Apple is, but they also a lot more programs to do a lot more things without having to follow the constraints that Apple has. But anyway, you have one of these three operating systems. Know which one that you have. Okay, how to access settings. On the Apple products, you're going to be looking for this gear in the upper right. So anything that's Apple, that gear is going to be your settings icon. And on the screen, it looks like what you have below. On the Android products, it's going to be a cogwheel type appearance, such as like you were seeing there. This can also be accessed not only by going to the screen, you can drag your finger down from the top of the screen, and it will also bring out the ability to access settings. On Windows, you have to click on a Windows icon in the bottom left, and then you'll see the gear is going to be your second part, and you need to click on that, and that will open up your settings. Now, first of all, let's cover how to restart your phone and use this whenever your computer is slow or your phone is acting slow, a program stops working, your screen goes blank, or your screen freezes for some reason. This method will be very handy in resolving most of these problems. On an iPhone, what you're going to go ahead and do is an Android, to shut them down and start them up, you're going to press the 3 to shut off the screen, and that's the arrow on the right. And this will not correct any problems at all. Only thing it does is it stops the display on your screen. So if you're having problems, you're going to want to do more than just shut off your screen. On an iPhone, what you do is you hold down 2 and 3 keys simultaneously. That's decrease volume and also the screen off volume. You hold them down for a few seconds, you let go, and you should get an option that will come up that says, do you want to stop or in your programs? And what you would do is press that, and that will shut down your phone or your computer on an Apple product. On an Android product, is all you do is long press the number 3 key, which is on the right, to power off, and you hold it down for a little bit and it'll go off, and then you can restart it the same way. You just hold that 3 key on the right for a little bit of time. Now, to shut down and restart a Windows program, first of all, you go to the Windows icon on the bottom left, and then you're going to click on the screen appearance that will show here, where this is the typical on and off key, and then your choice is going to be to put it to sleep, shut down, and restart. If you're having problems, you can press the restart. If you're still having problems, I would recommend using shutdown and leave it off for about maybe 5 minutes. This will take care of emptying a lot of things on your computer, and then you can restart it again by pushing your start button on your computer or device. So how to check and free up memory. So when you're low on memory and when you no longer will use a program, you might want to free up some of the memory that it's using. And also when your computer is slow, you may want to get rid of some of your programs and free things up. Okay, on iPhone settings for checking for memory, you click on a settings icon. And then what you're going to wind up doing, you're going to pick the General tab. You scroll down till you see General. You click on that. And then you're going to click down until you see iPhone settings once the General tab opens. When you press on iPhone settings, you'll see a bar there that shows you everything about your phone, and it shows you how much space you have, out of how much space you have that's being used. On this one, it's 42.8 gigabytes are being used out of 64 gigabytes. When this gets down to about 10% or so, that's when you really want to start considering getting rid of some programs and freeing up more memory. Now, on iPhones, what you'll do is you can review downloaded videos, and this will give you the option to get rid of some of your programs too. Videos take up the most space. People wonder about music. Music doesn't take up a lot of space, but videos can. So those are the programs you want to shift off either to another drive, such as iCloud, or you put it on a cloud drive somewhere. Scroll down to access all of your applications, and you'll just go down from this screen here. And on Android, you click on Settings and then Storage. So it's a little bit different. And then you consider copying videos again in large files to a cloud service. Or you scroll down and you see a app that you want to get rid of. You just click on the app. And it'll ask you if you want to offload the app or if you want to delete the app. Offloading just gets rid of the app, but it retains all the data that application may be saving on your computer. This is good to know in case you ever want to go back to using that program again, because if you use that program again, you do want your old data to be retained. However, if I'm using Pokemon Go, which is the app I've chosen here, and I'm not ever going to load it again, then I would press Delete App. And what that will do is delete the application and all of the files associated with it that have been saved on your computer. Now, you can determine also how much of this you want to do. If you look up in the upper part, it says app size. The application itself is 333.7 megabytes. And the documents that are stored are only 29 megabytes, not very much. So unloading just the app on this, you're not going to, you'll get rid of a lot of space, but you won't have to get rid of things if you're going to come back to that again. Now, you can also on an iPhone quickly remove an app by clicking on the app that's on the screen. And all you got to do is hold it down for a second, and it'll ask you if you want to remove the app. That will remove the app from the screen, but it will not remove the data. So again, if the data is high, then you won't want to remove it this way. You'll want to go into Settings. And that's the screen you will get to remove the app if you use this screen to do it with. Removing programs in memory on the iPhone. This is to declutter and or close programs that may be frozen. Also used to close active running programs. And Apple removes, what you need to know is Apple does remove programs that are not being used. Now, what I mean with all this is when you open a program, then you go open another program, it keeps that first program in cache. And that's a part of the memory, so it can be called up very quickly again to be used. But like I said, Apple winds up ending the cache if you don't use it for a period of time. So there's no harm with having a lot of these programs on your screen unless everything starts freezing on you. On the Android, it's a little different. You do want, as long as these apps are being active or during cache, they will remain there until you remove them. On Apple, you just simply swipe upwards and you'll see all your apps that are currently open on the right. And what you can do is swipe to the right on these apps and it'll go back and show you all the apps that are open. You may have 50 of them open. And then if you want to get rid of any of them, you'll swipe upward on the app that you want to get rid of. And as you swipe upward, that will remove this app from memory, from what is saved in what we call cache memory. And what it will do is you're not getting rid of the app. It'll still appear on your screen. It just closes it. So currently you're not using it. That's all it does. It's good to do that every once in a while. Android, to close an app on most Androids, on the bottom left side of your screen, if you press, you'll see what we call a sideways hamburger bar or three vertical bars on the left. If you click on that, that will show you everything you have open. And you can press on the X of any program you want to get rid of, or you can go to the bottom where it says clear all and just press on that, and that will close all those programs from your memory. Again, it does not get rid of the program on your device. It closes them. It gets them out of being used on memory and taking up memory space, which slows down your device and computer. Unfortunately, Apple does not have this option. They state that you don't need it. Myself, I tend to still want to close the apps to keep things clean. On the iPhone, you have to clear one at a time versus clearing a lot of them at a time. And closing a program on a computer, on your top bar of the browser that you're using, and that's going to be like a Google browser or Firefox or the Windows browser. And what you would do up top is it shows all the ones that you currently have held in cache or are open. You leave all these open, it can slow down your computer. So if you want to close them, you just click on the X of any of those programs you want to close. The nice part about not closing them is if you want to go back to that program, it'll resume right from where it left off and everything still is intact. But again, if you're having problems with a slow computer or things like that, you'll want to get rid of it. Deleting messages on a phone, on any of the devices, you can just do a single swipe towards the left and it'll ask you if you want to remove it and you can press remove, or some phones will just remove automatically. This works for all phone devices, not just iPhone or Android. If you want to delete multiple messages, what you need to do then is select messages, and then what you're going to do is they'll give you options to put check marks. You just click on the ones you want to delete, and you can delete them a whole bunch at a time or whatever, and it'll just clear them out. Now, next one is saving and removing emails depends on the provider. This example is using Gmail as the provider, and this is what your emails will look like on your phone, on a Gmail account, or on your computer. What you want to do is start programs that you want to keep. The reason I recommend starting programs is you're going down through, say if you get 5 emails in a day, just look at the titles. If you want to keep it, just click that star and it will light it up. So later on, when I go to delete programs, it'll let me know that, hey, I don't want to delete that one, and I'll make sure that it's unchecked. You can slide an email to the left, just like on messages, and that'll get rid of it if you want to delete it. Or you can just click on the icons itself to the left, and it'll put a check mark there. And then the next step you would do is you'll be able to hit the trash can, and anything that's checked will be deleted, and that's a way to get rid of multiple emails at once. Saving and removing emails from Yahoo browser. Yahoo's a little different. Actually, it's a little nicer in this aspect. Again, start emails that you want to keep. You just click over those stars. It'll just remind you to uncheck later ones that you want to keep when you're getting rid of them. Next thing you're going to do is go up to, you'll have an icon that will say today or yesterday or past month. You click on that icon and all of the emails that are there will be checked automatically. For today, anything you got today will automatically check all those emails. Again, if something's starred, remember to uncheck it just by clicking on that check mark. And then what you'll wind up doing, click on the check marks to uncheck, like I says, that you want to keep. Then you click on the trash can on the bottom and it will delete all those emails that you have chosen. A little bit better than the Google browser for getting rid of them. Again, every browser is a little bit different. These are, if you want to delete emails on the PC, what you want to do is on the bottom, first of all, this is on a Gmail, which is using a Google browser. It's showing me how much space I have out of how I'm using versus how much space I have on a computer on the bottom where you see the red mark. So what I would do is go to you would click on that bottom number, or you can go up top and it shows you how many emails you have and how many are showing on the current page. So on this one is showing 1 to 100 out of 1,255 emails total. So if you want to start getting rid of emails, you want to go to the oldest one. So what you're going to do is you'll want to click on those numbers and pick the oldest. And then that page will come up and it's going to display email 1,100 to 1,255. And so I will choose that. And then again, upper left-hand corner, I'll tell it to select all, and then I can press delete. Again, if there's any ones that are checked on the left that you don't want to delete, star it and go ahead and keep it and uncheck those. But it's a real quick way to get rid of a lot of emails at one time. So you can see it works pretty good. Another way you can do it is if you look to the right, it says select all 1,235 messages in your inbox. And this will show when you click that box in the upper left for the selection. And that will get rid of all your emails. So if you're going to do this, make sure you're not getting rid of any starred ones first, or just be happy that you're getting rid of all your emails because they're all going to go away. Okay, next, how do you empty your trash? You do need to empty your trash can because when you delete an email, it goes to the trash can. Some browsers will automatically delete any emails in the trash can at a 30-day time period, or when it gets to a number of 100 emails are in your trash can, or when it gets to a certain amount or a certain date, like 1 year or 1 month. It depends on your browser. But what you want to do on Gmail, you want to go ahead and click on that plus sign, and it's going to open up to where you can choose your trash can. So you click on the trash, and then that will show you how much you have in your trash can, how many emails. And if you want to get rid of them all, you'll press, again, that icon in the upper left, and it'll automatically select every one of them to get rid of. Or you can select all of those that are in the trash on the right just by clicking on that area where it says select 831 conversations in trash. And if you click on that, it'll get rid of all 831, not just that one screen. So that's how you get rid of things there. Okay, clearing browsers, clearing cache, history, cookies, Safari. You want to do this occasionally because what happens every time you go to a website, guess what? It's going to remember the website you went to. That's going to put that in your computer. It's going to save all that memory. When you go to a website, a lot of times they will put cookies on your computer. Cookie is information that they will use to help track where you go on the internet, what you're doing. It's not a full spying thing, but it just kind of lets them know, in some cases, what vendors they may want to contact. They'll use this information for also helping with artificial intelligence building, things like that. Most programs will give you the option of being able not to keep cookies. Another thing cookies will do is if you tell your computer to save your password on something, that's stored in a cookie. So when you go to that website again, it has your password stored, so you don't have to type in your name and password. You just click on a website and you automatically go there. So cookies have good and negative purposes, or good and bad. Most of them are just they're not malicious, but they're somewhat tracking what you do. But there's limits that they have to use with that. If you're a high-level hacker type person, you generally are not going to save any cookies. But then that makes you do more work later by having to type in passwords or doing things like that. Okay, now what you're going to do, you click on Safari if you're in the Safari browser, and where it says clear history and website data, you click on that. And that will wind up clearing all your Safari browser information. Now, next one, if you're clearing Google browser memory, what you're going to do is click on the picture that you have, or it may be just a letter of your name there. And then when you click on that, you'll come up with an option, and it'll ask you, is the storage 67% of so many gigabytes. Like I says, when you start getting up to 80 or 90% storage, you definitely want to be getting rid of some things. If you click on that area right there, it will open up and it'll show you how everything is being used. What's on OneDrive, what's in Gmail, what's in Photos, but Google Drive itself is taking a lot of space. That's because I store some of my documents on Google Drive. And I can wind up cleaning up space. If I click that, it's pretty intelligent. It knows what it needs to clear and not clear, and it will wind up clearing space. And it'll give you options. I do want to mention one other thing that might be of some big help to some people. There are apps that will actually do decluttering for you, and these work generally very, very well. One is known as CC Cleaner, which was a big one that Windows has used for a while. Others are available, and most of them work very, very well. And I hope this has been of some help. It's been enjoyable for me presenting this to you. And until next time, have a wonderful day.